Imagine waking up one morning to find your favorite coffee missing, your evening apple nowhere to be found, and the sweet taste of strawberries just a memory. Picture vast fields lying empty and vibrant blossoms fading from sight. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie. It's a real possibility if bees were to disappear from our planet. Today, we'll explore what would truly happen if these tiny, buzzing creatures vanished, and why their absence would change our world in ways we can hardly imagine. Disappearance of bees wouldn't be loud or dramatic. Instead, it would be a silent takeover, creeping into our lives without warning. At first, you might notice fewer flowers blooming in the spring, or that your favorite fruits are harder to find at the market. But beneath the surface, a much larger crisis would be unfolding, one that threatens the very foundation of our food supply and natural world. Bees are responsible for pollinating about 1/3 of all the food we eat. That's not just honey, but apples, almonds, avocados, blueberries, cherries, cucumbers, and so much more. Nearly 90% of the world's wild flowering plants also rely on bees for pollination. Without bees, these crops would either fail completely or produce far less, leading to empty shelves and rising prices. The impact would ripple through every part of our food system. If bees disappeared, the consequences would be catastrophic for agriculture. Many crops would see drastically reduced yields or fail entirely. This would lead to widespread food shortages, especially for fruits, nuts, and vegetables. The agricultural sector would face economic collapse, with farmers losing their livelihoods and food prices soaring. The effects would be felt not just in rural areas, but in cities and communities around the world. Loss of bees would unravel entire ecosystems. Wildflowers that depend on bees for reproduction would dwindle, impacting the herbivores that feed on them. As these animals decline, carnivores higher up the food chain would also suffer. Forests would thin, meadows would quiet, and the rich biodiversity that makes our planet unique would be dealt a devastating blow. The web of life, built over millions of years, would suddenly have a gaping hole. When bees vanish, it's not just the plants that suffer. Herbivores lose their food sources and carnivores lose their prey. This ripple effect spreads through forests, meadows, and even urban parks. The loss of biodiversity weakens ecosystems, making them more vulnerable to disease, climate change, and other threats. Our planet's resilience depends on the delicate balance that bees help maintain. Some plants can self-pollinate, and others rely on animals like bats or birds. But no single creature matches the efficiency and reach of bees. Their unique ability to pollinate a wide variety of plants makes them irreplaceable. If bees disappeared, no other pollinator could fill the gap, and the decline in plant life would be swift and severe. The world would change in ways we can barely comprehend. The disappearance of bees wouldn't be a slow fade. It would be a cascading collapse. Crops would fail, ecosystems would unravel, and the world's food supply would be thrown into chaos. The silent takeover would reshape our lives, our diets, and even our landscapes. The loss of bees would be felt everywhere, from the countryside to the city, and from the supermarket to the dinner table. So the next time you see a bee buzzing by, remember that it's not just collecting nectar. That tiny insect is helping to hold our entire world together. Bees are the unsung heroes of our ecosystems and food supply. Protecting them means protecting ourselves, our environment, and the future of our planet. So the next time you see a bee, remember that tiny insect isn't just collecting nectar, it's helping to hold our entire world together.